Chairman and ladies and gentlemen. My name is Charles Weltner. I'm from Plainfield, New Jersey. Lived there 14 years. I just want to give a little history of how this has gone down for people who might not have attended the meeting the other night or aren't as, not at the forefront of their minds. On February 18th of last year, the freeholders approved a master plan for Watchung Reservation. The master plan provided that mountain bike trails would be allowed at the western end of the reservation. It converted hiking trails to multi-use trails to be shared by hikers and bikers. This master plan was produced without any input from hikers, volunteers, volunteer trail stewards, nature groups, or adjacent landowners, or nearby town officials, or the professional staff at the Trailside Nature Center in the reservation. In October of 2016, Parks and Recreation held a meeting to discuss the master plan at the Trailside Center. It was billed as being for bikers only, with the promise of other meetings later in the year for hikers and equestrians. In December of 2016, the trail route was substantially altered to provide 13.5 miles of new biker-only trails going around the perimeter of the reservation. Apparently, these changes were the result of input from the bikers at the Bikers Only October meeting. The public was not consulted on any of this. When I say we weren't notified, I don't mean that legal notice and minutes weren't published as required by law. I mean the Parks and Recreation Department didn't do any outreach to any of the people who used the trail or to the public in any way. Tuesday night, the long-awaited meeting for people other than bikers was held at the Trailside Center. Over 300 people attended. They had to close the doors and not let people in because it was overflowing. I guess about 80% of those people were outraged at the prospect of new trails and the lack of notice. How did all these people find out about the meeting? Well, I made a flyer, and I went to 275 houses around the reservation and put the flyer on the people's door. And I presume that some of those people that were there came as a result of that. So I feel like I did more to notify the people around the neighborhood than Union County of what was happening. One man spoke on Tuesday night, said he got notice of deer hunts, but not of the bike trails or the master plan. He was an adjacent landowner. And he asked why. There was no answer was given. Your constituents want to be heard on this issue. You have a beautiful facility in the reservation, the Trailside Center, where you could hold information meetings and charrettes. You can find out what people what they want. You can find out what the citizens of Union County and the users of the Watchung Reservation want so easily. You could gather information about what we want to do with the reservation. None of this was done. Until now, you have heard only from the bikers who've been demanding biker trails for 3 or 4 years. The rest of us were clueless about these actions. In preparing the master plan, the construction of biker trails and prepared biker trails in the unused portions of the reservations. You've not consulted biologists or environmental professionals, and you even have such people on your staff at the Trailside Center who could help with this, and they weren't consulted. The trails, as drawn in the new trail map, go through threatened and endangered habitat of 5 or 6 species: barred owls, wood thrush, wood turtle, salamanders, egret, great blue herons. And I've prepared a map from the master plan. The master plan has a list of the endangered habitat. So I prepared that map with overlay of the trails for each member of the freeholders, which I'd like to pass at some point. And so I don't know whether the bike trails are going to hurt the environment, but neither do you, because you haven't found out. You haven't found out the answer to these questions. And so what I'm asking is for you to go back to the beginning, start over, conduct charrettes, reach out to the community, find out what we want, what we need. You are the stewards of the Watchung Reservation, and your obligation as the stewards and as representatives of the people of of Union County is to find out, to go back to the beginning, find out what we want.
Thank you. If you would just present those to the clerk, I'll make sure the board members get them.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.